and lynx. There's a cycle where the snowshoe hares get to a very high number, and the lynx eat them all. And then the lynx get to a very high number, and they run out of snowshoe hares. And then the lynx drop down again, and the snowshoe hares come back up. This is a natural cycle.
So you're saying the cycle is going to be like a Conor McGregor, or Ronda Rousey, or Brock Lesnar.
There's always
They're
someone.
going to come.
There's always someone. There's always someone who rises.
Who's
to
the biggest
top.
draw right now in the UFC?
Conor McGregor.
For sure. There's not even a close second.
Besides
him, George St. Pierre, if he wants to fight. George St. Pierre, especially just winning.
It'd be Conor, Brock, George. Those are your three cash guys.
Yeah, Brock would not beat Conor at this stage
of
his life.
I'm saying
I think if the UFC,
those are 1, 2, 3.
Right, but if the UFC was around, I mean, if we were at the stage where Brock was, like, say, before he beat Frank Mir, like when he was the heavyweight champion, when Brock was just smashing, he could sell. What was like the highest pay-per-view with Brock in it? I think it was like 2 million.
It's like the third highest.
Yeah.
Conor and Nate's first.
Yeah. So it's in that level. And the UFC wasn't as popular then, I don't think, as it is now.
But they did the WWE. He had the WWE fan base crossover. But what's interesting too, and a lot of people don't. And there's a reason why. But the demand for Nate Diaz too, because remember, he's part of the biggest pay-per-view of all time with Conor McGregor. So Nate Diaz is in that tier too. You can go Conor, Brock, Ronda. Nate's 4 or 5 in that.
See, it's number 2. UFC 100, Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. 1,600,000 buys. That's a lot. It's only 50,000 different than Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor, which is number 1. That's pretty crazy. Those numbers are crazy. So, and then Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz.
Conor has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Misha Tate and Nunez.
That is amazing.
Well, that's UFC 200. So you had Brock Lesnar on that card.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Brock has a shitload. Brock has 1, 2, 3 out of the top 7.
Yeah, and
so
Ronda comes in at number 8.
They're in their own stratosphere, right?
Yeah, but so is Nate Diaz. Like people want, they don't toss him in there. Nate's right there. He has number 1, number 3.
Wow, look at that. Amanda Nunes, Ronda Rousey got 1,100,000.
Yeah, but Brendan, Nate Diaz, that's arguably because he was fighting Conor McGregor, right?
Well, and that's why Nate hasn't taken a fight, because that's that trilogy is the biggest, one of the biggest that hasn't happened.
I mean, it is the biggest. It's the biggest. Here's the thing. If Conor comes back and decides to fight Khabib, that's a fight where it's going to be a gigantic, enormous, biggest pay-per-view of all time.
I think that's the biggest.
And if they decide to do it in Russia, it'll be fucking insane. And I'll be watching from here with you guys.
We're doing a companion for that.
For
You're
sure.
Not going to Russia.
I'm not going to Russia.
No. And that'll be our biggest companion ever, by the way.
Dana's pulled me aside. Like, dude, we're going to do some big things in Russia. I'd really like you to come. I'm like, good luck with that. Yeah. Fuck out of here, man. I ain't going to Russia. Cut to me. Fur around my face.
Full Eskimo suit.
Oh, you probably love it in Russia. It's probably amazing there.
Yeah, but the problem is that trip can suck.
It's a long trip.
Hard pass. I'd rather be here with you guys.
I'd rather be here with you guys anyway. Yeah. It's more fun.
Conor fighting Khabib.
I really like being there live. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love the job. But I'm going to be honest. It's more fun watching the fights with you guys.
Yeah.
For sure.
Of course.
It's not even close.
With your friends.
It ain't even close.
Drinking good wine.
Yeah. Having cheese and
Kidding
shit.
me?
Pissing people off because you're chewing on the microphone.
Yeah.